Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. I hope everybody is having a blessed day out there.
It's a nice day.
We are into kind of normal summer weather where you get, thunderstorm in the afternoon. It's hot, it's humid, it's summer.
Indeed.
Absolutely. And we want to thank you guys again for your support here on Patreon, also on YouTube with the memberships. You guys enable us to keep doing this. And this is what we want to do. And we want to do so much more. We want to share with you guys as much knowledge, as much little tidbits that we've picked up along the way as possible. When I was in the hospital and going to go in for emergency surgery, what was I getting from the higher self? I was feeling like the higher self was telling me, all right, you've done okay, but you really barely scratched the surface in guiding and teaching others. And that was my big takeaway.
It was a really difficult time with a ton of silver lining, and I think we're just barely scratching the surface of that silver lining.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let me ask my lovely wife here, do you notice a difference in me after this event?
There's something lifted off of you, something that kept you cloaked in a way. So there's an energy, transparency about you that was not there before. And I noticed it when you were in the hospital right before surgery. I saw it in you then. There was something had already changed before that surgery.
By the way, in case you missed it, it was an emergency appendectomy for acute appendicitis, which they got before it ruptured. I am very grateful, and I feel blessed because it's just basically for me, it was a wake-up call to don't waste time, enjoy the ride, but also if you were going to leave at a certain time ahead of the schedule, what do I think would be my regret? And I think it's that I have a lot to share that I've only just scratched the surface with, because I have been gathering information my entire life like a man possessed, and also practicing what I preach is really part of it. So much more that I want to share with you guys.
There's a lot more, and we'll do a whole video on the whole episode. It was really quite scary, but it was also amazing and in so many ways rewarding. But we want to say a huge thank you to you guys who've helped us get through this, because we've had unexpected expenses along with regular hospital expenses, and everyone has just been so kind and supportive so we can keep doing this and not have to stress, because it is stress that pulls you down and it makes it difficult to do this kind of work. So thank you.
So again, mantras. For me, mantras are like just a way of life. I love mantras. I absolutely love them. I mean, I'll be in the kitchen singing mantras. It's just me. It's been part of my life, I'd say, for somewhere between 15 and 20 years. And it brings me peace. It really does. And it calls in these benevolent guides that are there, and they just want to help. They simply want to help, but we have to ask in order to receive. Again, on Hearts Home, there is a series of mantras showing 50 videos there. And that's also on Patreon. When you go to Patreon, you could go to collections and see various different categorized videos as well. I still have more work to do to subdivide the Patreon list. So as far as fast and easy, I would say the easiest place is right here at Hearts Home. And then you'll find all of the different mantras. So we had done one Sikh mantra before, Ekankar Satguru Prasad. This one's a little bit different, and it just takes me back to kirtans. This one is Ekankar Satnam Siri Waheguru. Ekankar Satnam Siri Waheguru. It's just... It's fluid. It's pretty. This is a sacred mantra in Sikhism, often used for meditation, spiritual practice. You can translate things more than one way. So right here, you're seeing off a brave It translates to the one universal creator, the truth, the supreme teacher, the wondrous guru. It's considered very powerful, and it's chanted to connect with the divine. Yogi Bhajan, a prominent figure in Kundalini Yoga, introduced this mantra to many people, and actually part of my group that I was with all the time down there, half that group was Sikh, and many of them have actually trained under Yogi Bhajan directly.
And when I listen and look at this mantra too, it's very much like the Gayatri, as far as bringing you up in perspective so that you can see the whole picture or the bigger picture. So you're able to make the most advantageous decisions for yourself, the highest vibrational decisions. So I see it as, if you're fixing to make a big decision, this would be an excellent mantra.
Yes, absolutely. If you haven't explored the singer practitioners, Snatam Kaur, she has a wonderful voice, very powerful voice, very clear voice, and many YouTube's videos of her in kirtans and concerts. Beautiful. The Sikh religion is a very interesting one, and we have some dear friends that are Sikh. Here you go. One creator created this creation. Truth is his name. Great beyond description is his infinite wisdom. It's known as the morning call. It charges us with positive energy, creates a connection between our soul and the universal soul, of which we are a part. Here again, you see it. And it says the creator and creation are one. So here you go. This is when so much of the time you'll see people say, who created us? And automatically you say, God created us. But when we do say that, it's just not, it's not definitive enough, because again, so many beings have been called gods and really truly are extraterrestrials. And yet there is this other layer to things. There are beings on so many densities. We often talk about higher self. Where is your higher self? Well, the higher self that we usually refer to is typically a fifth density portion of us, we could say. Yet there are other densities way higher than that. And so when Cindy has gotten in contact with beings like Thoth, for instance, who is almost kind of like an archetype, so then we're talking like seventh density, and it's just, there's layer after layer after layer to the densities, dimensions, and consciousness. And ultimately, the farther upward we go, the more things start to merge.
When you were talking, it was very interesting, because when you're talking about people and how they ask questions about, where do we come from? How are we made? Who, if God made us, who made God? All those questions. And when I had my experience in front of Source, that was not a question anymore. And I honestly I think it was because I was outside of my human mind. So I believe the human mind we're geared to ask questions. It's very natural. It's very normal. But when you step outside of it, you just, I don't know, you know where you come from, and you don't even question the infinity of it. So, I mean, for me, just to sit here and make that comparison is really good. I mean, this is good to pick things apart for yourself and understand, like, when you're in the body, we are programmed to kind of ask questions, as we should. We should be curious. But when you're not in the body, you just have this knowing. So it's interesting to me.
Absolutely. Ekankar Satnam Siri Wahe Guru. The creator and creation are one. This is our true identity. Wow. This wisdom is bliss. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Beautiful.
It is, and it's so simple. We don't need anything else. We just need to really understand this. You could break it down by syllable. Ek is one. There is absolute one. On is that forms. Kar, creation. Sat, life. Nam, identity. Siri, great, Wahe, wow, and Guru, light, or teacher. So, you're talking about the ultimate guru. Now, Sikhism was started by Guru Nanak, and, he visited me before I knew who he was a long time ago. I saw him, and, he came to me on the astral, and I think it's because of past life, again, experiences. If you want to know the real me, half the time I have incarnations like this, and half the time I'm seriously like a Taoist or Buddhist monk. I'm just all into the meditation and the spiritual life. I do that to reroot and reground after basically coming in and incarnating to expose the system during a Kali Yuga. This is what we do. Cindy and I, we've been teams in the past. Guru Nanak came to me, and I got his name, and I wasn't even familiar with Sikhism. This is many years ago. And then I was like looking, and who is Guru Nanak? And then I looked and saw, he is also known as Baba Nanak or Father Nanak, Indian spiritual teacher, mystic, and poet who is regarded as the founder of Sikhism and the first of the 10 Sikh gurus. So when we're talking about the ultimate teacher, then we're talking about source, what we would call source. We also obviously can also refer to the being that we call Vishnu as a creator of this particular universe, understanding that there's many universes, countless universes. Each universe is just a cell. But still, to create such a wonder as this universe, that takes quite a being. And, again, souls evolve through incarnations and exploring different densities and life situations. So what Guru Nanak was all about, he was about unity. And, he was living in a time and a place where, Islam was growing and Hinduism and Islam were clashing, literally, often, in war and battle. And, he didn't want that, of course. He wanted to bring peace. So you see there's kind of a familiarity with a little bit more of a monotheistic vibe in some ways, but, it's not monotheism because, that creator is not separate. The creator and the creation are one. Okay, so that's like a form of animism. And this is our true identity. So sources went within us. Now that's the difference. Source is not separate from me. I am a part of source. And, again, we are all fractals of source. So he was definitely a blessed individual. He was born back in 1469, long time ago. And, he, again, was trying to unify people. And so the Guru Granth Sahib is the central holy religious scripture of Sikhism. And, again, there's all these different dogmas that develop over time that get followed. And when you look at the following gurus, the Sikh gurus that came after him, Ram Dass is a very famous one. But again, it's like things over time change a little bit, and sometimes there is definitely, that dogmatism that comes in. Because ultimately, what was he trying to do? He was saying there's one God. We got to realize there's one God, one source who dwells in every single one of us.
I think these beings are good to go ahead and, allow their energy to penetrate and you theirs. Because when I was looking at him, he was here during a time when extraterrestrials were not uncommon. They were around, and he probably had a couple of guides himself that were not of this planet, and teaching about the human body, because the human body just being created, and there was a lot of knowledge known about the human body at the time. So yeah, he's one of the ones that would have been hanging around probably, I guess, before the treaty was put into place, where the aliens were no longer allowed to interrupt humans' growth. So that was interesting about him.
Mm-hmm. So if this resonates at all, I invite you guys to practice it. I think it's beautiful. To me, yeah, it does have that. It has that vibe, like you said. It reminds me of the Gayatri. Yeah.
Up so you can see. You can see.
You can see from a higher perspective.
You can see from a higher perspective. It's like if you're playing, a chess game and you just have, you're looking from one perspective. But if you go up and you're able to see that chess game from above, you can see it from several different perspectives, from, each side and then above. So it gives you more of an idea of where to place yourself in this life so that you make the best decisions. Everyone goes up against different things. So I think this is a really good mantra. If you're kind of in a tough spot and you don't know what to do, you're just not sure, this will take you up higher so that you can see down and know that what your best moves are for yourself.
Absolutely. So as always, guys, I want to thank you for being part of this family. I invite you to check out the playlists over on Hearts Home. Again, if you want to join us on Patreon, that's wonderful as well. We love you guys. May you all be blessed with perfect bliss and harmony in your lives. Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.